Okay, this is 6.1 day 2, and in this video we're going to do the same thing as we did in day 1, except now our index number has changed. You'll see now that you have an actual number here as an index. So what we want to do is we want to match up our index with our powers. For example, if you remember, if we had a square root, we wanted powers of 2, okay? Well, with a cube root, we want powers of 3. And with a fourth root, we want powers of 4. So, as we look at these problems, you always want to match up your index right here, the index with the power. The index with the power. The index with the power. Every time you're doing this problem. So you'll notice here on this very first problem, we have a fourth, this is what we call a fourth root. Okay. Problem number 2 is what we call a third root. Alright, so this guy is a third root, because again, the index is a 3. So we want to match up our powers to be 3's instead of 2's on this problem. And it's still going to be the same concept. If you have a power of 3, you get to come out of the root. If you don't have a power of 3, you stay in the root. Okay, so let's look at this first example here. And we want to break down, and again, the process is going to be the same. I want to break down 112. So 112, I believe, is 14 and 8. So I'm going to break down the 8 and the 14. 14 goes to 7 and 2. Both those guys are prime. 8 goes to 2 and 4. And then 4 goes to 2 and 2. Okay, so because my index is a 4, I want everything to be to the 4th power. So as I count these guys up, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 2's. So I have a 2 to the 4th power times, then I also have a 7 here as well. Okay, so now anything to the 4th power is going to come out. So essentially, again, this is square root of 2 to the 4th, or excuse me, the 4th root of 2 to the 4th times the 4th root of 7 to the 1st. The 4th root and the 4th power are going to cancel. The 2 is going to come outside. The 7 stays inside. And this guy right here is your final answer. Okay. So the process with how you do the problem, numbers-wise, is exactly the same way. Okay, let's take a look at this one now. Now this time I have a third root, okay, and I have 192, and I'm going to take 192 and break it down into 12 times 16. 12 goes to 4 and 3. 4 goes to 2 and 2. Okay, 16 goes to 4 and 4, 2 and 2, and 2 and 2. So again, this process has not changed one bit with how I'm doing this problem. Okay, so on this one here, again, I've got a cube root. I don't want pairs, now I want 3's. I want items of 3. So I got 1, 2, 3 2's. So I've got a 2 to the 3rd. Then I've got 1, 2, and 3 more 2's times 2 to the 3rd. And then I have that one lone 3 to the 1st. Okay? So everything in this case now, everything that has a power of 3 is going to move to the outside. Everything that does not have a power of 3 stays on the inside. So as I look at this here, again, I'm going to draw my cube root. This 2 right here is, in this case, going to be outside because he has a power of 3. This 2 right here has a power of 3. He's outside. And then this 3 is going to stay inside because he doesn't have a power of 3. So 2 times 2 is 4. and then I have a third root of 3. So my final answer is 4 times the third root of 3. Okay, now you should be able to complete the first 4 problems with numbers only, with roots of, with indices of 3 and 4.